My granny always told me, your shadow is there to remind you of where you've been. And no matter how fast you try to outrun it, it follows you. The hurts, the fears, the disappointments, they stay with you quietly, walking beside you, reminding you of every place life has taken you. And one day, sooner or later, you realize you can't keep running from your shadow. And one day, you have to turn around and face it. Well, I guess I'll start from the beginning. I was born in the spring of 1974. And honey, if there's one thing I wish I could tell my younger self, it would be this. Sugar, get ready for the ride. Because life won't look anything like you've imagined. There'll be twists, heartbreaks, and lessons you never asked for. But if you can hold on to the moments when you had a chance to smile, those moments will carry you through the rest of the story. Because love, the love you imagine in your dreams, won't always look like the visions in your reality. And sometimes, honey, things we believe are love are really just the lessons life is trying to teach us. The love I saw between my parents was the kind of love that any little girl would dream about. I remember seeing them laughing together, joking, smiling, dancing, always having a good time. They seemed like they truly understood each other. Sometimes they would sit for hours and talk. And from the outside looking in, it looked like happiness. To the little girl watching, it felt warm. It felt safe. It felt like love. I truly believed that one day I was going to grow up and marry me a man just like my daddy. But what I didn't understand back then was that sometimes the love we see and the love that we live can be totally two different stories. And just like that, everything changed. The way I imagined love, the way I believed love was supposed to feel, the way I dreamed about it, the way I daydreamed about it. Those images were suddenly shattered. One night, I stood outside Mama's bedroom door. She didn't know I was there. I could hear her crying, the kind of crying that makes a house feel heavy and quiet at the same time. And I stood there for what felt like hours, wondering, where's my daddy? Why wasn't he there? Wondering why he didn't protect her from whatever was hurting her. In my mind, that's what love was supposed to do. That's what a husband is supposed to do. But what I didn't understand back then was the protection that Mama needed was from Daddy. And standing there in the quiet hallway, something inside me began to change. A little girl who once believed love was laughter and smile was now trying to understand how love could also sound like pain behind a closed door. And looking back now, I realized something. That moment, standing there outside that door, was the beginning of my first relationship with trauma bonds. The next morning, Mama came out like everything was back to normal. Her hair was beautiful, her face always glowing and gorgeous. But I knew something had happened. I just didn't know what. I sat there and I watched her. But life had a way of just sweeping things under the rug. The worst moments, covered them with a thin layer of carry on. But me, I couldn't carry on. I saw it. I felt it. It hurt. The disappointment. The fear that made my heart beat fast. It chased me. It followed me. I couldn't shake it. I couldn't pretend. That was something that had broken us. I stayed quiet because that's what I was taught to do. But inside, the question spun endless, turning my stomach into knots. Now look at me. I can't run fast enough. I'm trying to outrun the thing that I never asked for. The first man that I ever loved created a vision of what my future looked like. And that's not the kind of love that I deserve. That's not the kind of love that my mother deserved. But just like Granny said, your shadow is always there to remind you of where you came from. And no matter how fast you run, it's right there behind you.